draw the layout of the inverter, close these settings, that is ADE can be further used, therefore load the state and exit from that. Then go to File, Tools Manager, open the inverter schematic. Library Manager, under this, under your folder, you can open the inverter schematic for drawing the layout. Whenever the layout has to be drawn, it has to be from schematic. Therefore, I am opening the schematic of inverter. From here, I need to generate the layout. For generating this, the very first step is for the PMOS and NMOS. Till now, we have not connected the body, we have not taken the body, and also instead of taking a big PMOS transistor and NMOS transistor, this can be broken into smaller pieces by going for the fingering concept. Therefore, the first step is click on this PMOS transistor, then go to properties. Here the fingers, by default it will be 1. Change the fingers to 20. That means a big PMOS transistor is broken into smaller pieces, 20 smaller pieces, each of 2 micrometer, because 20 into 2 is totally it is 40. Therefore, finger width I am going to make it as 2 micrometer and number of fingers 20, so that the total width is 20 into 2 micrometer, which becomes 40 micrometer. That is the first setting which has to be done. Next one is body type should be, usually it will be none. You need to make this as integrated. That is, I am going to take body and source on the transistor. Therefore, body type should be integrated, and I am going to take 2 taps, one on the left and one on the right. Say OK. These are the 2 settings which are to be done for PMOS. And similarly for NMOS, go to properties, change the number of fingers to 20, and as total width is 20 micrometer, 20 into 1 finger width should be 1, so that it will be total width is going to be 1 micrometer. 20 fingers into 1 micrometer results in 20 micrometer. That is the first setting. Second setting is body type, which should be changed to integrated, and tap should be on the left side as well as on the right side. Select left tap as well as right tap, say OK. Once these changes are made, just save this. After saving this, launch the layout tool by executing launch layout Excel. If I click on that, it will open a setup option. It will be by default create new, as I am creating for the first time. Then say OK. Then it will show new file option. Just check library name should be your name, your library. Here it is test1. Cell is inverter and view should be layout now. And say OK. It is going to open a blank layout editor here. And initially, I need to create the layout of all instances, that is 2 transistors and 4 pins. That can be done by the tool. That is done by executing the command connectivity, then generate all from source. If I execute like this, it is nothing but we are going to generate the layout for the basic primitives, that is the transistors and pins from the source. Source is the schematic. All from source, it will open a generate layout option. It is showing it can generate instances, that is the transistors, IO pins and PR boundary, placement and routing boundary. Then say OK. Then on the right hand side, you can observe there is a PR boundary, PMOS and NMOS. If I just click Shift F, I can see all the fingers here for the transistor. This is the PMOS transistor. If I click on any instance here, corresponding will be highlighted in the schematic. That is, as I am clicking on PMOS, now PMOS is highlighted here. And if I click on NMOS, NMOS will be highlighted. Here there are 4 pins. If I just click on any one pin, the corresponding pin will be highlighted here. That is, I have clicked on Vout, therefore Vout is highlighted here. And this one is VDD, and the bottom one is Vin, and this is VSS. Then after this, I need to arrange these transistors in the PR boundary. This PR boundary, I will initially stretch this as per my requirement. That is, this is the given PR boundary. Let me stretch it a bit. For stretching, click on this icon, stretch icon. Then bring the cursor near the edge which has to be stretched. Now I am taking the vertical stretching. Then similarly you can do it for the horizontal stretching. After stretching, you come out of that option by pressing escape. Then bring PMOS transistor into the PR boundary by clicking on that PMOS transistor, dragging and placing in a appropriate position. Then after this, I am going to bring NMOS into the PR boundary. As can be seen, I'll just zoom out and show the fingers here. This is the PMOS transistor which is having 20 fingers. This is the first one. This is the last finger. And as I've taken, the body type should be left and right and integrated. You can observe here source VDD, and the same thing is also body connection. On the right hand side also we can observe there is a source and body which are integrated. Same thing is for NMOS also. Source and body are integrated, and source and body are integrated, which should connect to VSS. After this, I need to complete the connections for remaining connections as per the circuit. If you observe the circuit here, it is showing the transistor source for NMOS should be connected to VSS. Source of PMOS should be connected to VDD. Let me complete that first. Before completing that, as the gates are to be shorted, both the PMOS and NMOS gates, there are 20 gates in PMOS, 20 gates in NMOS. They are supposed to be aligned. For aligning that, the step to be followed is press A in the keyboard. Then it will show this yellow color line. Keep it on the left hand side of your first finger of PMOS transistor. Click once. Then the same thing has to be done. That is, keep the yellow line on the left hand side of the first finger of the NMOS transistor and click once. Now both are aligned. How do I check whether it is aligned? Just zoom it and connect the first finger of both. In order to connect that, as it is poly and it has to be stretched, I am going to press P. P stands for polygon in keyboard. Then I'll connect from first finger, that is I have pressed P. Then you can see there is an extension which is shown here. Extend it and try to connect it to NMOS. Click once. Both of them are connected. That is, they are properly aligned. After this, I am going to show the connections for VDD and VSS. All my pins are outside the PR boundary. I am going to take the corresponding pins. This is the VDD pin. I will be dragging this and I will be placing this at the top of PMOS transistor because I need to connect source connection to VDD. Similarly, VSS connection should be done. VSS should be connected to NMOS transistor. Bring it and place below the NMOS transistor. Then VIN should be dragged and placed on the left hand side of your layout. Finally, Vout pin should be placed in the right hand side of your layout. After placing this, I need to connect from VDD to source to VDD. For that, to perform that, press P. After pressing P, just drag this metal one throughout the PMOS transistor length. Now this becomes VDD. Similarly, do the same thing for VSS. Stretch this line, metal line. That becomes VSS. Now make the connection from source of PMOS transistor to VSS. Alternate terminals are sources because it is shared region. This is the first finger which is having source on the left hand side, drain is on the right hand side, which has to be connected to Vout. Second finger has drain on the left hand side, which should be connected to Vout, and source on the right hand side. Like that, alternatively, sources will be taken from, source will be connected to VDD. By clicking P, you can connect like this. Similarly, do the same connections for NMOS. Source of NMOS should be connected to VSS. After this, alternatively, again source of NMOS should be connected to VSS. Then As can be seen here, the drain of PMOS should be connected to. Observe here, both the drains are to be connected. Here only one drain will be there, whereas here in your layout, multiple drains will be there because it is using fingers. Rather than a single transistor, there are 20 fingers. Therefore, instead of making only one drain connection, we'll be making multiple drain connections. And observe here, this is the drain of first finger. Connect from the drain of the first finger, that is by pressing P, extend it to the drain of first finger of NMOS. Then after completing this, almost symbolically I have shown all the connections. If I fit, it will be like this. After completing all the poly connections and VDD connections, the layout looks like this. Now we need to complete the input and output connections. As per the schematic which is shown here, the gates are shorted and it is to be connected to VIN. Drains are to be shorted and it is to be connected to Vout. And here only one gate connection is there, whereas here multiple gates are there. That is, there are 20 fingers which are to be connected together to make it as a single finger, and that should be connected to input pin. For that, I can draw a horizontal polysilicon here just by pressing P and dragging this. Now all the 20 fingers are connected through this horizontal poly. Place this input pin on this, and as I am placing connecting two different layers, polysilicon and metal, they will not be connected directly. Therefore, I need to use a contact cut, which is referred as via. For that, you execute create via, and it will show various options. I have to connect metal 1 to poly 1. Therefore, select metal 1 to poly 1 via and place it on this. Once I place this here, this metal pin and polysilicon gets connected. That is, now I've completed this connection. That is, all the gates, that is 20 fingers are shorted, and for that I am placing V. Now the shorted drains are to be connected to Vout. That is this connection. To perform that, extend this metal by pressing P. I am extending. On this, if I place Vout pin, the connection is completed. I need not have to place any via because I am putting a metal pin on a metal line. Therefore, I don't require any via here. Now, the final layout looks like this. This is the layout. After drawing the layout, I need to go for the physical verification. That is, my layout is free of design rule violations, and also the layout is matching with the schematic. Once it is done, then we can go for final simulation, that is post layout simulation. To perform that, first step is I need to connect the library, respective technology library. For that, execute Ashura technology. It will open a technology library select form. Then I need to select the required library by clicking on this browse option. Keep on clicking on this double button until I reach my location. That is, first it will be under home folder. Thus, you can see here. Click on home, then install, then foundry, then analog 180 nanometer, then Ashura underscore tech. This is the actual library, that is path followed by library. Library is Ashura underscore tech.lib, and the path is home. Under that install, under that foundry, then analog 180 nanometer. If you can browse, or else you can type without making any mistakes. Then say OK. Now the library file is set. Then you can perform DRC checking. That can be done by executing Ashura run DRC. If I click on that, it will open a run DRC form. Here the technology will be usually in the initial run, it will be undefined. Just bring it to 180 nanometer by going for this option. It will select GPDK 180, then say OK. Once it is done, it will run the DRC and it will show there are no DRC errors. If at all, if any errors are there, you need to debug. Now, as there is no error, just close it, go for the next step. That is the LVS. Assura run LVS. LVS is the abbreviation for layout versus schematic. I am going to check whether my drawn layout is matching with the schematic. Therefore, perform that run LVS. Here in the run LVS, again here the technology will be undefined. By using the drop down menu option, select the GPDK 180, then say OK. Then it will execute LVS and it will show in this run LVS form. If you can see the zeros, it is free of errors. That is, there are no mismatches. Say yes. It will show a dialog box here which will show schematic and layout match. If at all, if there is any discrepancy, it will be showing here and you need to debug. Then after completing layout versus schematic, the next step is you need to extract the parasitics. To extract the parasitics, execute Assura run Quantus. Then it will open the Quantus form. First, in the setup tab, you can observe this setup tab. You have to just check whether output has to be, usually it will be in Spice. Use drop down option and bring it to extracted view. That is AV extracted view. That is the first setting which you need to make. And also then go to the second tab, that is extraction tab. By default, it will be in R only, but we need both R and C. Therefore, use this drop down option and select RC. Then reference node I need to give VSS. Then in the same tab, this enable HRCX option should be disabled. Then say OK. Then you can see a dialog box which will show it is completed and the output is available in AV extracted view. Close it. In order to observe the AV extraction, just go to your library by going to Tools Library Manager. Under your folder, you can observe a new view, AV extracted. Double click, it will open the AV extracted view. Just at the top, you can see your folder name test1. INV is the cell name, AV extracted is the view name. Now if you zoom it, you can see R and C values. This is the resistance value. You can see the parasitic, it is a symbolic representation, that's all. Similarly, you can see the capacitance also. Once the RC values are extracted, we are ready for the simulation, that is post layout simulation. By annotating the R and C values to your test schematic, we can do the simulation. This is the symbolic representation for capacitance. Once it is done, just close all the windows. That is, I am closing layout window, then AV extracted window also. Then I'll go for the post layout simulation. Post layout simulation is just procedure which you need to follow carefully. Go to File, New, Cell View. To perform the simulation, I need to go for the test circuit, INV underscore test you give. Then view will be layout, just change the type to config. I am going for a different configuration, just change this to config. Automatically view also will be changed to config, say OK. It will open two windows here, that is hierarchy editor and new configuration window. In the front window, just change the view to schematic, then click on use template. Then here you have to select Spectre because that is your simulator. then click on the spectra, then say OK. Remaining fields will be automatically filled, say OK. Now here in the back window, you can see there are two views, table view and tree view. I'll click on tree view. Then you can observe here I0. In some cases, the name can be I1, I2, I4, anything. Then you observe the name test1 INV schematic. And now I am performing the post layout simulation, which will be using the RC values which are obtained from the RC extraction. Therefore, this view should be changed to AV extracted. By clicking on this set instance, that is the inverter instance, should be changed to AV extracted, because now all RC values are available under this AV extracted. Click on this. Now I have made certain changes, save that. This is the common mistake. First you save this, then only open that corresponding window. If I open this, you can see this is the test inverter schematic, test window, test circuit. Now click on the instance I0, then descend edit to see whether the setting is done properly or not. Descend edit in a new tab, say OK. Now it's going to show it is AV extracted. That is, we have done properly. Then from here onwards, the simulation is same. That is, open the ADE window by executing launch ADEL. Then it will open the ADE window. As I've already saved the state, simply I'll take session load state. Then it will automatically load the settings. That is transient analysis, DC analysis and all other settings. Let me perform the transient analysis first by selecting it, run the simulation. If I run the simulation, it's going to show the functionality. Just to see the waveforms properly, you can change the background also by going for file window property, then white, select white and say OK. Then now the background is white. Then you can see here two waveforms, that is input. Then that is input is shown in a different color. This is only for beautification of the waveforms. It is nothing to do with whenever input is 1, output is 0. Whenever input is 0, output is 1. This is your input and output. Now perform the calculation, that is analysis. Invoke the tools, that is calculator, by executing tools calculator. It will open. As already I have used once, it is by default wave is enabled, clip is disabled. Otherwise you need to enable wave and disable clip. Then select the signal 1 and signal 2 from the waveforms browser. Signal 1 should be input. Go to waveform browser and select input here. That comes and sits in signal 1 tab. Signal 2 should be output. Then threshold voltage is 0.9 for both. Edge number is 2. Edge type is, initially I am going to do falling and rising calculation, so that I am going to get TPLH first. Input is falling, output is rising. Then apply this setting. Then calculate this by performing evaluate. Then it is going to show 152. Earlier it was 122. Now it is increased to 152 because we have included R and C for the calculation, that is simulation. As R and C are included, delay will be increased. Similarly, we can see the TPHL. For that, make input to rise, output will fall. That is, the setting is input is rising, output is falling. Earlier setting you have to delete from the buffer, apply the new setting, then evaluate by clicking on this button. It is showing 52.69. Earlier it was 35. That is, both the delays are increased, and now the total delay is the average of 2. After performing the transient analysis, we need to perform the DC analysis. I'll show the DC analysis. For DC analysis, just already setting is done. Just take the DC analysis by enabling it, then run the simulation. If I run the simulation, it's going to show the VTC, voltage transfer characteristics of your inverter which is shown here, and the intersection point is the switching threshold. It is around 818. Earlier it was 828 millivolts. This completes the post layout simulation.